you know, it doesn't matter what kind of racetrack you're on, whether they reconfigured or not. The guys that run well are going to run well and adapt to the different racetracks.
Well, and when we're talking about talented drivers, I think what you're mentioning there, we've got a guy named Jacques Villeneuve who is racing his very first ever NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and he qualified 7th, first time out.
And that was the first time with 1,600 miles of testing at Chicago and here and everywhere he's been. That's the run, and he qualifies 7th. That shows you how much talent that cat has.
And Buddy Lazier, also from the open wheel ranks, is going to be racing his first ever NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series here tonight.
Talk about a resume. Indy 500 winner, kart champion, Formula One winner, Jacques Villeneuve. We're going to ride along as he makes his NASCAR debut here in the Craftsman Truck Series. Great qualifying effort, qualified 7th for his first ever NASCAR start.
In the open wheel ranks that have come into the NASCAR field, most notably Juan Pablo Montoya making the transition and has had success. Won in NASCAR earlier. We take a look at his resume for Villeneuve, the 500 winner, as you mentioned, kart champion, world champion. I mean, that is very big for NASCAR to have that caliber of a racer coming in to make this his career.
Yeah, tremendous shot in the arm for all of NASCAR, and especially here in the Craftsman Truck Series.
Look who's on the move. Jacques Villeneuve moving up toward the front. Adam.
Yeah, and he actually had dropped back a handful of positions after starting 7th. He was back to 17th in the running order. That's where he sits right now. Very cool and calm in the opening laps. Spotters taking him through, tell him to hold his line, and that he will be good as the night goes on. Villeneuve came back on the radio, said truck is very loose.
You know, Jacques Villeneuve is here to learn. You know, sure, he'd love to win the race, but that's not what his primary objective is, and that's what really impresses me about Jacques Villeneuve and Buddy Lazier. They know they have a steep learning curve. As good as they are, as impressive as their careers have been, Jacques Villeneuve, with all the testing he's done, and Slugger Lobby told me 1,600 miles, he's never raced around any other truck, so it's all new experience for him.
That's the impressive thing, is they talk about the big picture. You know, I've got to get seat time, I've got to get track time. And what better place than to learn right here at the Craftsman Truck Series. Whether going to the race or watching from home, get the most from your NASCAR weekend at SpeedTV.com. Get the inside scoop and the breaking news as soon as it happens. Log on to SpeedTV.com. Keyword MyRaceDay. Riding along with Jacques Villeneuve, as he currently is running in the 16th position. Started 7th, so dropped back, but looks as though he's running in a little more of a comfortable position for him.
And running very good lap times, too, because right now he's within about a tenth of a second of our leader, Tabo 9, what kind of lap times he's running. But see him going by Eric Darnell, the 99 car, our winner earlier this year at Kansas.
Darnell's falling fast, too. We've got to find out what's going on with that number 99 Ford, because he was all the way up to 8th and now has dropped back to the
look, Jack Sprague into the wall.
Jack Sprague hard into the wall. Our first caution of the night has come out. Let's take a look at how this took place. And actually, we're going to get a view from Jacques Villeneuve's perspective.
Watch that red truck right in front of Jacques. He gets a little bit loose, wiggles, and then Jacques comes along. Yeah, has a little help. And Jacques makes some more contact. So Jacques will be on pit road here shortly for some repairs to the body of that number 27 Toyota.
Again, I think the big story coming in for Jacques and Buddy was braking this heavy vehicle. I'm sure it has got to be so much different than when they're running these open wheel cars.
Yeah, I mean, these open wheel cars are so much lighter than these trucks, and they have way better brakes because they have bigger wheels. These are 15-inch wheels on these trucks. You can only get so much of a caliper in there and rotors. So the open wheel cars with such giant wheels get such big calipers and big rotors, and they're able to stop on a dime.
Another look.
It was right after the initial contact, and then Jacques and Brian made some more contact. Jacques will be coming down pit road here momentarily. Let's take another look at it here. This is slow motion from Jacques on board. Watch the 16 wiggles right there. Then has to chase it. Has to get out of the throttle. And Jacques, he's even closer than it looks on TV from that onboard. He's really probably only 2 trunk lengths behind. He's dead in the throttle, full throttle. And when Brian had to back off the throttle to regain control, then that caused Jacques to run into the back of him. And here he is on pit road.
27 is on pit road. The 07, the 77 again of Brendan Gaughan is down there as well. Adam.
And they've walked Jacques onto pit road. Not overly concerned about the damage on the front end. They talk about making a chassis adjustment while they're on the pit lane. You can see the crew focusing their efforts on the left front. That's where the damage came when he got into the tail end of Brian Scott. He comes down pit road. And this is a learning experience for Jacques Villeneuve, and he's in some ways learning the hard way as the crew goes to work on this damaged race truck, but he will, without a doubt, be able to continue here tonight.
A historic number there, the 27. Jacques' father running that number.
Yeah, for Ferrari, Gilles Villeneuve. And then Jacques made a lot of success with that number. That's the number he had when he won the Indy 500 and the kart championship back in 1995.
Continuing on with the legacy. And again, they continue to work on that race truck. Contact was made between Jacques and the 16 of Brian Scott. That's why they're in there working on the front end of that truck. See Jacques Villeneuve, he has dropped a lap now. He is actually 2 laps down to the field, running in the 25th position. 1 lap down on the field, excuse me.
Remember, Jacques has that damage from that earlier incident when the 16 of Brian Scott got sideways right in front of him.
See a little bit of the tape on the front end of that truck. And again, he and Buddy Lazier looking to just really log some lap times here, log the seat time, so they can get a better feel for what's going on. Jacques will be running 7 races in the remaining 2007 season. And a big race coming up at Talladega. That will be quite an experience, I would guess, for even a world racer like Jacques Villeneuve.
Villeneuve, first ever NASCAR star, first ever stock car start of any kind, finishes 21st, and Buddy Lazier finishes 24th. Pretty good effort by both those open wheel guys.